March 2010. There is no such thing as 2010. That's a long time from now. March 2010. Congress, controlled by Democrats, passes Obamacare.
Right.
It's very unpopular. Barack Obama told me and every other reporter, you just wait and see. People know what's in it. They're going to love it. 63 House seat Republican gain, 5 Republican seat gain in the Senate later in 2010. It's just once people's mind get made up about these big things, these big legislative things, it rarely changes. Well, I don't know what they do.
I think the problem Republicans have is they have promised for my entire life that if you put us in power, we will cut government spending,
yes.
We will balance the budget, we will shrink the deficit. And now they have more power in government than they've, with the exception of the George Bush time
since
right around
the
then.
first 2 years of Trump.
They have so much power. They can do it, and they've promised to do it, and now they put forth a bill that maintains all of the previous spending levels that they've been railing against.
And would add trillions to the deficit.
It would add trillions more. And I don't see how you can go back to your own voters, the people that elected you in Republicans, MAGA people to put you in charge, and say, we had an opportunity to do what we said we were going to do, but we're not doing it. So it's unpopular on that end, and then it's unpopular, obviously, on the liberal and moderate end for some of the cuts that are not politically popular, like the entitlements cuts, which I would be happy to make law because I want to tackle entitlements, but maybe they're not popular.
Okay,
fine.
so I have a question.
Yes.
Did they not believe it then, or do they not believe what they're doing now? That's because there's no way, if you're a 2012 Paul Ryan fiscal hawk.
Yes. I basically am.
There's a 0% chance you look at this bill and think, this is good fiscal policy, this is good conservative fiscal policy. Outside of the tax cut, which, but and maybe, I guess, if you're like, well, we need to dip a toe into the entitlement, we're dipping a toe into Medicaid, and we need to address that, and this is a way in. But I just don't see how, if you've been in Congress for a decade, you look at that and you say, yes, as a fiscally conservative Republican, as a deficit hawk, I'm for this. I actually think Chip Roy is right.
He is absolutely right. I've been toasting Rand Paul for crusading against this on exactly these lines. It's just people get it. They understand that you're full of it. If you said you were going to do this, if you said this was important to you, you gotta do one thing. You gotta do entitlements or defense or massively slash government departments or something. You can't waste, fraud, and abuse your way out of this problem. I'm glad that they're tackling waste, fraud, and abuse, but there isn't enough of it. Or everybody thinks it's unpopular foreign aid. Good, eliminate it all. I would with a swipe of my pen, I would eliminate all unpopular foreign aid and foreign programs. That will not balance the budget. That will not fix the deficit. We need to tackle entitlements or defense. And doing defense at least would be popular. It seems like there was bipartisan support for that. Some Democrats said they would go along for the ride on that. They didn't even try.
I always point out to people when they're like, Trump is slashing government. We're reducing waste, fraud, and abuse. I'm like, let me just give you some rough numbers. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the defense budget, which, by the way, Trump touts all the time now as biggest budget ever, $1 trillion. That's about 80 to 85% of the budget. So, you want to get rid of the Department of Education. I mean, look, since Newt Gingrich, we've been talking about getting rid of the Department of Education. Okay.
Gone, dead.
You know what the Department of Education's budget is? It's not a lot of money.
Billions with a B, not a T.
Right, it's a lot of money for us, but for the government. And that's my point. It's like,
you can overdo that and then never end up cutting any, every time they try to eliminate something, it's not a lot, so it's, So I don't want to use that as an excuse not to cut things. But the big fundamental question of how in debt our government is, how much we spend beyond our means, will not be addressed, I agree, by those kinds of things.
So do they do this? Put on your prognosticator hat.
I suspect they will do some version of it. I think they absolutely will.
They feel like they have to.
Yeah.
And you think so in the House then it's like the Chip Roy, Thomas Massey's vote against it, that's 2, they can lose 3. And that's basically it.
Yep, and it gets through with the narrowest of margins, and Trump people plan to run on the other parts of his agenda that are popular with the American people, the immigration policies, and say, see, we're fulfilling our promises on this and this and this. I think that's the plan.
I also wonder whether they do the Trump thing, which is $1,000 tax cut check to every family next summer. So I don't know if it's $1,000. I don't know what the number is, but I'm interested to see. Is that because you got to sell it somehow? It can't be about
no tax on tips is a good idea though. That one is politically popular.
It's a brilliant political. There's a reason Kamala Harris copied it.
Yeah.
Now, is it good fiscal policy?
Well, I think we're just all going to be paid via tips in the future.
Exactly.
If that,
No
please,
tax.
I would like
I take tips.
I would like Nexstar to convert me to a tipped employee, please.
Okay. Another Democrat has been manhandled by ICE, and we have more details on all of that next.